So Pravin, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Pravin, but Pravin from Block.Kitchen wrote in with a question, and I'm going to address it. First off, Block.Kitchen. I didn't even know there was a .kitchen domain name. There's just so many now. It's crazy. It's hard to follow. I'm always looking at these domain names and being like, "What is this? A .com? Is this? Oh, that's the extension .kitchen." Anyway, he wrote in with a couple of questions. The first question he asked is this? Here's the question: if you were not pursuing Nomics, what other business opportunities or categories in the blockchain space would you be executing on? Good question. So I think first and foremost, I want to mention that I really don't know. Like this question stumped me, and it's not like I have a list of things in the back of my head that I'm just kind of like waiting to do. I'm very focused on what we're doing, and in another update, I'll speak about why I'm so excited about what we're doing in the Pathron and the problem that we're really solving versus, I think the problem that a lot of people think we're solving. But the answer is I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm very interested in distributed data sets and in data platforms, which is really at the core of what we're doing at Nomics and core to the infrastructure that we're building, much of which people can't see. And right now, there's just nothing that excites me as much as data platforms. By the way, data platforms as an interest, like I've never been interested in anything that bored people to death as much as data platforms, but they're really exciting if you ever want to talk data platforms sometime. Maybe we can have that conversation if we see each other at a conference or something. I think, all of this said, if I have to think about it for a bit and stretch, I think I'd be interested in blockchain-based lending. So on the Flippening Podcast, my other podcast, I did an interview with Nadav Hollander from Dharma. I'm very impressed with what they're doing. I think that is potentially the killer use case, one of many killer use cases. If you look at U.S. bond markets, they're bigger than the stock market, and both the bond market and the stock market individually are much larger than like M2 money supply, which is just the amount of money people have in bank accounts and savings accounts and cash. So it's and that doesn't even count. That doesn't even include the bond market doesn't even include personal loans and household debt and things like that. So I think there's a ton of opportunity there. Everyone borrows money, and because of hurdles around user experience and knowledge, access to technology, I don't know that the average person would use Bitcoin, just to use it, unless they live in a place like Argentina or Venezuela, and there isn't another reliable form of, for storing value. There's another reliable means of doing that. Obviously, if you live in a place where the banking system is terrible, then Bitcoin is potentially a great place to put your money. I don't know. I don't give financial advice, but I'm very interested in blockchain-based loans. I think it's a little bit too early. I think we need to get the game theory right and the behavioral economics right, but there's so much potential there. And, in general, I'm not afraid of being early on things. I believe in general that being too early is the same as being wrong, but there's also a huge value to being involved in something prior to it taking off. It's kind of like surfing, right? If you try and surf a wave way too early, you're going to miss it. If you try and surf a wave when it's huge, good luck. But if you catch it at the right time, there can be a huge benefit to that. So I guess that's a space that I always have one eye on. I don't spend too much time on it because I'm focused on Nomics, but that's probably what I'd be doing. All right. Take care. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. If you liked this content, please help me out by leaving a review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts. It provides me with encouragement and it helps other people find the program. Also, if you have a question that you'd like me to answer on the podcast, go to asknomics.com, leave me a question, and I'll do my best to answer it in the next few days. Thanks for listening and see you tomorrow.